Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today I've got a small project going on in the garage that's a little dust collection system on my rigid job site table saw. Also, it's going to be hooked up to the miter saw behind me at some point. And I'm going to try to answer the question of, do you need a very large dust collection system? We'll see how it works. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. So what I'm going to have is the Oneida Dust Deputy. This is, I think, the deluxe kit's what they call it. It comes with two 5-gallon buckets, all the fittings and everything like that, to give you the full system. And I've got one fitting. It's a bathroom fitting, I think, for a sink drain, I believe is what this is. But it goes from a 2-inch fitting over to an 1.5 inches. So I'm going to hook it up on the saw. I'm going to rip a few boards down in the garage. I'm going to clean everything on the floor so we can see, does it work? I'll also get a little video of the Dust Deputy functioning while it's working here. And I will also have links to everything down below, and also to this little box that I've got for the electrical outlet. So as soon as I turn the saw on, it'll kick on the shop vac itself. And it'll run for, I think, 3 to 5 seconds, somewhere in there, after I turn the saw off. We'll see how it works. So here's the exhaust port on the saws where all the chips come out. Here's the little fitting, 2 hose clamps. I'm gonna pop the big one off just so it's a little easier to work with. And then my shop vac, to be very clear, my shop vac has a very small hose. That's why I'd had to go to something a whole lot smaller. This is actually still too big for this. Measure yours. This is a really, like I said, it's an older shop vac and it's real small. So measure the exhaust, or I guess the intake hose for your vacuum before you do that. Here's the hose clamp, real quick. I'm gonna pop it on. I gotta back it up real quick. All right, so now here's the shop vac hose. I'm gonna put it in here. Now, I will say this, you better watch whenever you do this. You want it to go just barely covering the hose clamp itself, this hose clamp. If you go any farther than that, you're going to get it a little past, and it's not going to be able to come through into the hose. So here we go. Okay. Nothing to it. That's all it is, right? 2 hose clamps, 1 little fitting. $7 later, the shop vac with the Dust Deputy is hooked up to the saw. Now, I'm going to rip a couple of boards, just some scrap lumber I've got laying around. There's some MDF, and I'm also going to do one more test. I'm going to hook up a dado stack to this saw and cut maybe a 3/4 inch swath through something that's going to really make some chips, and we'll see how much does it actually prevent. Can you just run this saw with this dust collector setup for a whole lot cheaper? So let's do it. Okay, so here's what it is after the first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 cuts or so. I mean, you got a little bit on here, obviously, a little bit on the table, nothing crazy. On the back, now I didn't vacuum this off, sorry, but there's nothing on the back. Floor is pretty clean. I mean, this is inside. So I'm gonna change this blade out. I'm gonna put on a dado and we'll rip something a little bit bigger, probably just out of this board. Okay, here's the dado in, ready to go. Yes, the saw is unplugged before anybody hates on me for this. There it is. It's right at about somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch, so somewhere in that general vicinity for reference. You see the bottom, fairly clean. Let's rip a board and see what this thing will do. Down in here as well. Move the fence out of the way, try to get a little better light there. I mean, just basically nothing, very negligible. So overall, I think it works really well. I mean, you got this, but I mean, for sawing inside with no, this is obviously not on, so pretty good. I'm gonna make one more pass. It's gonna be on this little scrap sheet of MDF. If you've worked with MDF before, it makes a heck of a lot of dust. So you should be able to see it running through the Cyclone here. So you can kind of see how that works. Here we go. So as you can see, it comes in here. This is off the shop vac hose. It's coming directly off of the saw. Drops all the big particles down into here. The reason this looks a little bit loose is because my lid is not completely sealed. But even with that, it falls straight out the bottom. Nothing really comes into the shop vac itself. It's a really great system. So yeah, there you go. A couple of them went through the dado blade. It also went through the MDF and all that stuff. This actually came, the majority of this dust here, which you can kind of see is pretty large. That came from the dado itself. The nice part about this is you can just back it straight back off. You have your shop vac back. Well, there you have it, the Oneida Dust Deputy hooked up to the Ridgid job site table saw. Does it do a good job? Yeah, it does. It does just fine for what I need it to do for now. So to answer the question from before, do you need it? Do you need a big dust collection system? I guess the answer is maybe. For what I'm gonna do here, yes, I'm gonna put a bigger dust collection system. It's gonna go in this white cabinet that's over here on my side. And it's gonna be a little nicer than what this is. The great part about this is if you have a small hobby shop, much like what mine is right now, it's great. And you can just disconnect it real quick. You can still have full access to your shop vac, which is perfect. I love that feature, and I love the fact that I've already got this because I will continue to use this a lot. So I guess it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something that you can just move from tool to tool, this is a great option. Significantly cheaper, right at that $100 mark. And if you've already got the shop vac to put it on, you're already 50% of the way there. So you're in good shape with that. I think it's a really great addition to any shop. I don't think you'll go wrong. It really, truly is very impressive what that thing will do. So if you liked the video, I hope you did. Feel free to subscribe, hit that bell down here as well, and check out something else on the channel, the videos that are floating around my head. Smash my face over here and it'll take you right to the channel homepage. Hope you find something else enjoyable. Y'all stay safe in the shop. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.